Hey everybody, I'm Jack, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Raw Tropical Living. Today I got a little bit of a different target, not just strictly talking about the food that I'm coming at you with. As you can see from the title, this one is about social media, internet marketing, and most importantly, networking. This is an idea, like the job I'm doing now. It's like doing internet marketing and handling social media is a good part of it. I've been studying this stuff for a couple of years now, but I would just consider myself an amateur. I did some of this for the last job I worked at, which was writing sports, and I did mostly writing, but I handled some of the internet marketing and social media too. Anyway, long story short, the idea I came up with there, and I've wanted to apply it and see how it really works in real life. But the one thing I wanted to do there, and I didn't get around to doing because I ended up leaving that job, was to build small networks of people. Build small networks, hell, you could build a bigger network. But basically, somebody said something on, I don't know who said it, I can't remember who said it, and I don't remember who they were talking about. I've been kind of on a marathon of watching just tons of YouTube videos again. But they were talking about somebody that could afford to spend a lot of money and have a fancy marketing agency. Well, a lot of us out there, there's a lot of people that don't have that kind of money to spend, but you still want your message to reach as many people as possible. And that's why I always wanted to use this network type thing. And for the sports, YouTube wasn't really involved that much. It was just going to be, Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and not even really Instagram there. For this world, for the raw food world, for the vegan world, just for the health world in general, anybody that's interested in eating better, there's a lot more opportunities, because I also think Instagram and YouTube are key. Because, especially if, this may speak to some of you smaller fries out there like me. In the beginning, it's hard to build an audience. And I struggle back and forth. I mean, there's a lot of good practical information out there. One good book that I would recommend for any of you guys, and I've got notes as always down here, it's called The YouTube Guidebook by Mark Bullard. I bought this a good while back, and it focuses mainly just 100% on marketing with YouTube. Just little tricks, how to keyword your videos, how to title your videos, the descriptions of your videos, interacting with people, and that's where the network idea comes in. Now, I'm going to be looking for a small network to begin with after the first of the year. Who knows, maybe somebody out there will fit the criteria, will be in my network, or use this information to build your own network and get your message out there. Get your message, get the people that you're aligned with, their message out there. Now, obviously, and this may start some controversy too, because obviously the people that are purist and only believe their way are going to be a little bit harder to find a network, because that path is very narrow. I like things that challenge our beliefs, that challenge what we do, that challenge what we think. So unless somebody's doing something horrible or something that I'm against, I don't have a problem networking with somebody that doesn't necessarily follow the same program that I do. For instance, 80-10-10. I've been mentioning that a lot lately. I'm not 80-10-10. I'm probably never going to be like a full-on 80-10-10, but I've been studying a lot and watching a lot of people that do 80-10-10 lately. And quite frankly, I'm pretty impressed. And I've picked up a lot of useful stuff out of there. I know in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I tend to go through these phases anyway, but just by being around their energy and listening to their videos, that I've started eating a ton more fruit. Through good old Harley out there. I'm paying more attention to hydrating. That little that gets in your head with his his last month of videos. He's got a hydration chart at the thing. Anyway, I'm getting a little off the subject there, but you see what I'm getting at. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody you agree with 100%. It could be even interesting, like networking with people that do something different from you. Obviously, we want to network with ethical people. We want to network with, if it's commercial, if you're networking with somebody that's selling something, that's doing something, check them out. Hold them accountable. See if they're walking the walk. See, if they're doing something shady. but there's a lot of value in coming together in this. Okay, let's just take, for instance, like my little model here is to start with, like, say maybe 5 people. I've got me, I've got my YouTube channel, I've got my Instagram account, and right now Instagram is blowing up with raw food and vegan. You know, I'm picking up a lot of people out there, and I'm finding a lot of interesting people to follow on Instagram. Recipes, just good-looking food, networking opportunities. So you've got YouTube, you've got Instagram, you've got Google+. Google+ is another one where I came late to the party, but I'm very impressed with Google+. Plus, we've got the good old standby's Twitter, and we've got Facebook. Okay, here's more or less how it would work. Think of kind of a, you've got me, and I have my other 4 people. Okay, I shoot a video. Boom, I'm shooting this video right now. I go in, I title it appropriately, I keyword it appropriately, I give it a proper description. Once my video is uploaded to YouTube, I go and I share it on Facebook. I share it in several places on Google+, some of the groups or communities I'm in. I share it on LinkedIn, which LinkedIn is so-so. I share it on Pinterest. Pinterest is another good one. You got to use them all. Anyway, I share them all at Twitter. I share them all across my networks. Now, here's how it would work if I had that network of 4 people. I do all this. I shoot my video. I share it on all my networks. Okay, then Joe, who was person number 2, or let's say Joe, Bill, Sally, and Bob, the other 4 people, they go in and they do the same thing. They go into their YouTube account. They give me a thumbs up. They share my video. They share it on Facebook. They share it on Twitter. They share it all around too. Maybe there's some kinks to be worked out. Maybe every person doesn't share it on every single one of their network, but a lot of sharing out there. So what you have going is then now besides me, I've shared to all my social media networks, and I've got 4 other people that have also, so it's going exponential. So I've got this person over here that sent this out to all the people in his networks, the YouTube, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, blah, blah, blah. And I have that with the 3rd person, the 4th person, and the 5th person. So there's 5 people that every time this is happening, just blasting this stuff out there. Same thing happens when it comes Joe's turn. When Joe has content, when he writes a blog post, or when he does a video on YouTube, myself and everybody else in the group does the same thing. We share, share, share. Plus, we make comments. It's not just all about clicking a share button. You need real interaction. And this, just to clarify, this I'm not talking about some gimmicky thing. There's some gimmicky systems out there, you know, and this is mostly just to do sales. You know, some people will just market. They'll push anything just because it's a business marketing thing. But what I'm talking about is people, products, and things you believe in. In other words, you're not sharing these things. You're not making comments on there. And if you don't agree, even you're with your, like say for instance, you're within my network. If you don't agree, challenge me. You know, give me some feedback. But that interaction, even in a group as small as 5, I totally believe from everything I've learned about studying some of this stuff over the last 2 or 3 years, I totally believe that a group of 5 could be very powerful like that. And then you could be, you know, it could grow even exponential. If you had a pod of 5 people over here and a pod of 5 over here, you could either merge and become one pod of 10, or these people could just share. You got the family, this tight family over here, but they kind of help this family over here. So you see where I'm going with this. Anyhow, I'm not going to get too deep into strategies and whatever. I know everybody's thinking about the holidays. It's just like this was something on my mind, and I wanted to drop it in your ear. I'm looking for some feedback. I may share this stuff a couple of times because I imagine if I share this tomorrow, it's so close to Christmas, I may share this again after the holidays to make sure it gets maximum exposure. But think about it. Think of some ideas of your own. But I'm going to start looking for my 4 people who I think are really into this, and everybody's got to participate. It's kind of like, yeah, you don't necessarily have to be into it as much as me, but if you don't have the time, or if you're not into it enough to do it on a regular basis, it's just not going to work right. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in today. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll subscribe to the channel. And I will talk to you soon. Peace and Merry Christmas.